Hello and welcome to the CDO Magazine interview series. I am Susan Wilson, the Vice President of the Data Governance and Privacy Practice with Informatica. We are partnering with the CDO Magazine, MIT CDO IQ, and the International Society of Chief Data Officers in a series of interviews. Today, I have the pleasure of talking with Sylvain Panderis. Sylvain, in fact, why don't you go ahead and welcome and introduce yourself?
Thank you very much, Suzanne. Always a pleasure to discuss data with you. So I'm Sylvain Panderis, the head of data management at Janus Henderson. Janus Henderson is an investment management company, mid-sized company, around 400 billion asset under management. And my role in the company is really to handle both data operations, data stewardship, and data insights. So which is really the full gamut of data practices within data management.
Excellent. And thank you again for partnering with us and CDO Magazine for this interview today. I've known you for years and I've always learned so much from you. And I know our CDO audience will today as well. So let's get started. This first question is, first set of questions around leadership and data analytics profiles and leadership. So first is leadership is so much about culture and social influence. How do you approach culture change in the context of individuals and teams and your entire organization getting to work together?
That's really interesting because I say that to my team all the time. I don't really do data management anymore. My team, do that, but what I do is change management. That's really my job in the company. And there are multiple reasons why. Because first of all, data management is a journey. And that journey will be as long as your maturity requires it to be. So for a Janus Henderson perspective, we were not that very far in our journey when I joined the company 3 years ago. So for us, putting data management in the middle of existing relationships, for example, the businesses had one-to-one relationship with technology. They had one-to-ones with operations. And now you need to insert the data management team in the middle of these relationships and create those three-way kind of relationships so that it worked better. So that was a very important change for our organization. But what I realized, and I've done change management for so long, so now it's kind of a habit, but my way of dealing with change management is really to say, if you stick to why is it you want to change? What is it you're going to do about the change and how you will do it? So the why, what, how. If you stick to that, most likely you're going to be successful because we work with very smart people too. So from a organization standpoint, what we do is with the executives, it's more about the why. Okay, because if we have data quality issues, whatever they may be, it's because our current or legacy practices are not good enough. So they understand that. Otherwise, I wouldn't be here. So the question becomes, okay, well, when is it we can change? Because you don't want to derail their plans, but at the same time, you want to fix the foundations. So that's the kind of a challenge you're going to face with the executives. With the operational teams, it's more about the what and the how. And what I learned throughout my career is you cannot do that alone. It's impossible. So what you need to do is put together a team of people who have the expertise and having them advise and execute the change. Because if they do that, they buy into it, and they're going to be the best advocates for the change going further. So that's how you actually use a very small team of data managers to actually expand from there into every area of the firm and get the same word out.
That's excellent. In fact, you've really described change management so effectively. It's the what, the why, the how, so very important for being able to communicate that at all levels, not only at the leadership level and getting that alignment and agreement, but really working it into the trenches. And in fact, many of our CDOs listening today might be thinking, what advice would you have for perhaps some of these CDOs that are, either just beginning or maybe be struggling with trying to increase their leadership profile and drive this change? So what advice do you have? What are the leadership skills and strengths that you draw on?
Yeah, that's difficult because data touches everything. So when you're in a leadership position around data, when I think of myself, I have an incredible opportunity to have a positive impact on the lives of my colleagues. So that's a great responsibility, but it's also something that keeps me up at night every once in a while. So from an advice standpoint, I would say probably like 3-4 things come to mind. The first one is stick to the basics. What I mean by that is if you ask 20 people what they think data governance is, you're going to get 20 different answers. Same thing with data strategy, same thing with data literacy. All these terms we use, every day in our lives. So instead of trying to understand what data management is on the next website that you're going to visit, define it for yourself and make it stick to the company culture. So define your own language. That's what I call stick to the basics. Because once you have that, you have a common language for your own company, and therefore everybody will understand it, rather than sticking to a different kind of language that nobody understands. So that's, I would say, the first one. The second thing is you have to connect everything you do to a business outcome. Otherwise, even if you're very good at data management, people will say, well, we're paying the price of data management, but what's the value of it? So connect data to business outcomes. That's number 2. Number 3 is deliver. Otherwise, it's words, it's PowerPoints. PowerPoints are fantastic, but they don't bring much value, Mm-hmm. So at first, you're going to be swamped because everybody will jump on you and tell you how they need you. And you look at your first dashboard, everything is red. It's absolutely horrendous. And you say, oh my gosh, I have all these kind of things to do. But if you stick to an area of that dashboard and say, I'm going to turn it from red to green, then you're going to expand from that success to get to another area where it's going to become amber and maybe green tomorrow. So deliver, and deliver again. That's in that, I would say we are kind of similar to technology in that sense, where if you don't deliver, you're not really helping, okay? And the last one is probably more personal, but I would say be curious. Don't be judgmental. It's very important, given the function we have, to be positive about the impact you're making. So be curious.